Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl CC Gooden, and if you're new here, which you probably are because this is a new growing channel, welcome. Hi, how you doing? Please like and subscribe. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, okay? And I felt in my spirit to do this video right at this moment. Now, I did this video a couple of days ago, and every time I went to go edit, I always got distracted, and then something new came out that I wanted to add or gave me a different perspective about something else. Then I learned something new again today. So at this point, it pissed me off, and I'm just over here like, you bitches had one job. Y'all, I'm specifically pissed off with two, but y'all had one job. I work 5 days a week at a fucking plant, okay? 10 hours a day on my feet doing manual labor work. Do it look like I do manual labor work? Y'all see this beauty room? What are you talking about? Do it look like I do manual labor work? I edit my videos sometimes on the line because I be too damn tired to do it when I come home. Sometimes I don't feel like doing any goddamn thing when I come home because I come home damn near 5 o'clock in the morning, okay? I sleep during the day. I'm an actress. I'm a writer. I'm a podcaster. I'm a YouTuber now. I'm a rapper sometimes. I do a lot of including work a full-time job, 50 hours a week, and sometimes more than that because if they give us mandatory overtime, we got to come in for that. I would love to sit my ass at home for 1 hour a day and make $250,000. But for some reason, Al fake ass Reynolds hyphenated Jones, Funky Flip Flop Dineva, Claudia Jordan. I don't got a nickname for you because I love Funky. I love Claudia. Even though I call him Flip Flop, but he flip flopping right now because I'm mad at him. I love Claudia Jordan and Armon Wiggins, my emo brother, because I'm emo too, a little bit. Just a little bit. Y'all had one damn job. And so, for those of you who do not know what I am talking about, I am not about to sit there and give you a whole rendition of what's going on. This is some YouTube shit that's happening, and I am a fan of these people, and there's a show called TGIF that got canceled, all because there are people playing too many games behind the scene, puppet masters, manipulation, jealousy. It's too much going on. And now a good show is canceled, and which, by the way, was part of my daily schedule of things to watch. I gotta pay premium for my damn YouTube because I have bad service at the plant, which means I can't just watch my videos regular. So I have to download the videos that I want to watch, and you can't download them unless you have premium. So I'm paying extra, and y'all were part of my lineup, and y'all fucked that up. So for those of you who don't understand, get ready, buckle up. I will explain it to you because some of the shit that they dealing with, I deal with it at work too. But ain't no bitch gonna run me from my money. Y'all not about to run me from my check. But let's get into it because I'm irritated. If you don't know what I'm talking about, hey, stay in it and listen. It's gonna be a good time. I should have had my glasses on. Where my readers at? Because I feel like reading bitches today. But you know, I just want to go ahead and get in this because I want to go to sleep. So let's just go ahead and jump in right now. There's a show called TGIF. I'll give you a quick rundown. Show called TGIF. Claudia Jordan, you guys may know her from Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's a model. She's done a lot of things. Look her up. Claudia Jordan brought in Funky Dineva and Al Reynolds. She was already friends with Al, and she was friendly with Funky Dineva. She brought them in, created a show where they talk about hot topics. We ain't got Wendy Williams no more. We just don't. So there's an empty seat right there. Now, granted, everybody call me the next Wendy Williams. I ain't saying that I am. I'm just saying I'm CC Gooden. But I kind of guess I could see why they may have said that. Y'all got to get to know me a little bit more, and maybe y'all will see it. But whatever. I'm CC. That's just all I can say. But somebody got to fill that spot. Okay? So they do hot topics. 4 years they've been doing it. Funky doesn't even decides to leave. Well, everybody's trying to figure out why. So there's Claudia Jordan, Al Reynolds, Al fake ass Reynolds hyphenated Jones, used to be Star Jones' ex-husband, okay? That's all we know him for. Word on the curb is he was doing Uber Eats and substitute teaching before he got this gig. Okay? So that's word on the curb. Funky Dineva has been in the YouTube space for over 10 years. He used to put the wigs on, and my hair is laid like this. Like, that's him, okay? He used to do the recaps of Real Housewives of Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop, yada, yada, yada. Armon Wiggins is a YouTuber who is very great at doing female rap commentary, okay? Boom. Funky Dineva leaves the show after 4 years. They try to replace his seat. So they keep having different people do it. T.S. Madison, different people. They change to different people just to see who would be a good fit. In the meantime, Funky Dineva decides to start doing his show live on his own YouTube channel or whatever at the same time as TGIF. Now, TGIF, originally it went from 1 day a week, which is why it's called TGIF, to 3 days a week, to 5 days a week. Okay? We'll get into why Funky left later. Boom. The whole time I'm watching, I said, you know what, they really need Armon Wiggins. I would love to see him on there because I think he would be really great. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy him. So, ironically, Armon Wiggins, he gets the chance to be on the show temporarily, like just to do a fill-in, just to test things out. He go on there for a couple of weeks. Funky Dineva endorses him and say, hey, this is a great person to take my spot. Y'all need to hire him, yada, 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 yada. Then, next thing you know, Armon gets the job. 4 months later, Armon does a birthday roast to Al Reynolds. The show is canceled. Okay? Now it's a whole bunch of hoopla. Everybody saying it's Armon Wiggins' fault why the show is canceled. But then come to find out, it ain't Armon's fault. At least not solely. He didn't just pull that out of his ass out of thin air. So right now, everybody looking at Al Reynolds sideways because he seems to be the person that gaslit this whole situation. But I'm gonna go a step further. I feel like it's Funky who helped gaslight this whole situation, and we're about to talk about it right now because I am irritated. Okay, the person that I'm the most mad at and disappointed in is Funky Dineva. And he may not ever see this video. None of y'all may care about what I'm saying. I don't care that y'all care, but there's somebody out there that's interested because they see my energy right now. So y'all gonna want to know why the hell I'm pissed off and why I'm irritated with people that I don't even know. Let's get into it. So I'm gonna try my damnedest to not draw this out. All right. When Funky Dineva left, he said he left because of money. After when it went to from 1 day to 3 days, and then 3 days to 5, when they got to 5, he wasn't getting paid more. You would thought that he would have got paid more. It's a certain amount he got paid per episode. They kept the rate the same as the 3 when they went to 5. So then he said it was that, and then he's like, well, if I'm gonna be doing this, and what about like some healthcare, whatever. All in all, it was a combination of things. What he was leaving out, which he kind of hinted, but he was leaving out that there was a toxic work environment. On top of, really, he didn't need the show because he could do what he's doing right now is going live. He started going live to be petty at the same exact time as TGIF. So because he's pissed off with the people at TGIF, he decides to be shady, take his fans, because he know, let's be clear, a large part of Funky's fan base was brought to TGIF. So he wanted to be petty and take his fan base away from the show. I need you guys to understand that him and Claudia, for whatever reason, which I have my speculation we'll get into, they're not even friends. They're not even friendly really at this time. But him and Al is friends. So to me, if you and Al is friends, Al still have to do his job over there. But you want to be petty and go live at the same time. Boom. Whatever. Follow me here, okay? What we know is that Armon did a roast on Al Reynolds on his birthday, and he went in, and everybody has been dragging it. So this is why everybody thought that he was fired. If you want to catch up y'all just gotta type it in on YouTube, okay? Whatever. So Armon did the roast, and he basically talked about how Al, he always have his notes, but always have incomplete facts, which is a fact. He talked about how he's repeatedly trying to get the show canceled behind the scenes, and he was really spilling some work tea that nobody knew behind the scenes. A roast really go there. So, with that being said, after the show ended, Al calls Funky Dineva up. Funky Dineva is live doing a show talking to us. And so, Funky usually, sometimes he'll call people while he on live, or he'll answer like, hey, I'm doing a show. He answers the phone for Al. Did you see I need you to watch tonight. I am pissed off. He mad. He going off. And Funky's like, hey, look, I'm on live, bro. Like, wait, hold on live. Al says, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And he's trying to go off. Funky again. It's instead of Funky just silencing it or whatever, or just ending the call and be like, it's like, hey, bro, I'm alive or whatever. He's kind of like, I ain't gonna say he letting it go, but we are able to hear that Al is very pissed off. So finally, Al realizes, because he said he didn't care that he was on live, but then he's just like, all right, call me back. Boom. That was everybody's first reaction to the roast. So Al may have appeared that he was fine with the roast, but clearly he was not. So then, boom, there was no more show. So then everybody's like, damn, Armon got the show canceled because of that roast. He went too far. He said too much. Did he say too much? Possibly. I still didn't have a problem with the roast, but I also can see why people would have a problem. And I can understand what was wrong with it. He spilled some tea behind the scenes. Now, I thought that was interesting because I'm like, well, why would somebody that's on the show want to get his own show canceled? I think the next thing that came out, Claudia was going around doing kind of like interviews like on live, people like YouTubers, and then the show was on hiatus. It was announced that it's on hiatus and it'll be back in July. Now, they said they were already going on hiatus anyway because there was still some things going on behind the scenes. This is pre-roast. But after the roast, they just made their exit a little earlier. But this was supposed to be a hiatus. The show was not canceled. Claudia Jordan goes on Carlos King. Hey, Raindrops. That's Carlos King. He's from Detroit. You may know him. He do Love and Marriage Huntsville. He used to be a producer over there at Love and Hip Hop. I mean, no. He did Love and Hip Hop too. But Real Housewives of Atlanta. Especially the season when King was on and Claudia and all of that. Boom. He goes over there. She goes over there, does the interview. And kind of like she spilled the beans that her and Al have not been friends for a very long time. Boom. The show gets canceled. Now everybody was like, it's Claudia and Armon's fault. Come to find out, Al is the one who's been doing some shady shit behind the scenes. So that's my child back there. Y'all don't mind him. Go sit down. He's so obsessed. Hi, this is Benjamin Takarius Gooden, a.k.a. Tico. He doesn't know his name is Benjamin. Say hi, Tico. Okay, chill. So here's the thing. We found out that Al been doing a lot of shady shit behind the scenes. So here's what I'm really irritated by. It was speculated that somebody gave Armon a lot of information for him to say the things that he said. People like Atasha K or Funky Dineva kept saying that he was not there long enough for him to know that information, which is clearly incorrect. We end up later learning, So right now, nobody really knows what the problem is, but we're starting to see the cracks in the show, like something ain't right. So let me go back to Funky Dineva and why I'm annoyed. When Armon first got on the show and tested out, right? I'm going to tell you the things that I noticed first. Claudia energy was off. And I'm like, I already knew. So the reason why I like Armon Wiggins and I started watching him is because he reminded me of Funky Dineva, just a younger version. Now, they're not that big of a gap. I don't even think they're 10 years apart. Armon is 36 and Funky Dineva is like, 41, 42 or, early 40s. And so, but he reminded me of a younger, fresher, version of Funky Dineva. No shade of Funky Dineva, but Armon talks about the things that he's well versed in, which is female rap commentary. So I'm like, that's the perfect person to fill that spot, to get that energy, he gonna give you shade. He says whatever he thinks, like he says what other people don't want to say. He's unapologetically him. So I knew off the bat that energy was not gonna work with Claudia, and I'm gonna tell you why. I watched, so on the show, the roles is Claudia is like the Beyonce, right? But you know how Beyonce is Beyonce, but Kelly is still that girl? It's like Claudia was the Beyonce, but Funky Dineva is that girl. Al ain't even Michelle, and no shade. He ain't even Latoya or Latavia. Al is Farrah. We'll come back to Al. Anyways. So, Funky Dineva is the one who says all the outrageous stuff, shady as hell all the time. Claudia is a little shady too, but Funky Dineva is the one. A lot of times they will clash because Claudia is always she's always standing up for a black woman. Everybody try to denounce her blackness because she has a white mother and she's mixed. But we're not about to sit here and talk about y'all problem with pick and choosing when to say somebody's black and when they not. One minute they got a pinch of black, they black. Well, the next minute they got a pinch of black and their name is Kamala Harris. All of a sudden you're not black enough. I'm not about to talk about that today. We'll talk about that another day. Anyways, she always protecting black women and she always standing up for victims, right? Funky Dineva is clearly he's gay, so he represents the LGBT plus community, right? A lot of times they clash. Now, this is what I witnessed with my own eyes before. There was an incident, and I don't remember what the particular situation was or the topic that they were talking about. But Funky has a bad habit of, I understand that that's your community and you want to ride for them. But if there's something in the story that somebody don't agree with, he try to overpower her and he gets a little aggressive and he's like loud and just kind of like in your face with it, and he cuts her off. I noticed this one episode and I seen that she got really, really frustrated, and it's kind of like, it does give the vibe that because of the LBGT community, we can't have a say so or we can't have any commentary on it at all. But when it comes down to a black woman or black women issues, then it's always a joke, it's always poking fun, it's always dismissive. So that has happened all the time. Funky Dineva does have a history of, and he's been called a colorist, he's been called that he doesn't like black women. I'm not gonna go that far and say he doesn't like black women, but I can see why people say what they say. So that was that on the show, and I can see that Claude gets frustrated. So her Armon coming on, he does his commentary on females. That's why she was. Now this is without me knowing the tea that I'm about to tell y'all. That's already out there on YouTube. I could tell that she was not feeling Armon. I could see that. So I'm like, she don't like him. And it shows. She actually couldn't even hide it like the first 2 days, especially that first day. You couldn't see it. And then there'll be times where Armon may not agree, and like he'll be shady, he'll say something, like probably like the second, third day, because that's when he kind of got comfortable after a couple of days. And Albie will be eating it up, you can tell. So then after his first week, that's when Funky Dineva was like, Armon is the one. He went on his public platform and endorsed Armon Wiggins. I need you guys to understand that. He went on Instagram and endorsed Armon Wiggins, okay? I think Armon did a second week trial, and then I believe, and then boom, he gets hired. But when he gets hired in, after a couple of days, Claudia energy kind of shifted just a little bit. And then when he actually got hired in, it was different. Now, Al went from really being into Armon, but then after a couple of days, there's sometimes Armon is not really well versed in the political space or a lot of broader topics. And it's not that he couldn't get there. Let's remember, his commentary is on female rap. So a lot of times Al Reynolds will little boy him all the time, okay? And he'll call him boy, just because he doesn't agree or think that maybe what his answer is maybe a little immature, which I don't think is immature, just maybe he's just not, I don't know, they just try to, because he's younger, that he doesn't know anything, and he used to call him boy all the time, and son and boy. I didn't like that, but I can tell somebody must have talked about it, because when they came back for when he got official on the show and got the seat, I wasn't calling him boy anymore, but the energy was a little different between the two. Claudia was a little lighter with her energy. Now, when he got the job, Funky Dineva was doing a live or a video, and he went out of his way to say, yes, I know that Armon got the job, but let's be very clear, T.S. Madison was offered the job first, because I guess it was between T.S. Madison and Armon. But when he kept saying, he was like, but she turned it down, that's why he got the job, he wasn't first choice. That right there, and I was like, why he saying that like that? I thought that was really, really weird. And I'm just like, you were just like, nobody even knew that T.S. Madison had the job first. So why did you feel compelled to come out and even speak on that? I've always thought that was weird. I wonder why you did that. I also wonder why T.S. Madison turned it down. Let's find out. I don't know. Anyways, so to jump around, when the show gets canceled, Funky Dineva does a sit down with Carlos King. Now, I know for a fact that he already had this interview already lined up, because I watch Funky Dineva's show every day, or when he does it. So he does it now, and when he gets on there, he's asked about how he feel about Armon, CJ, and his comments about Armon was like crazy. Like, yes, eventually he gave him his flowers and talked about how, yes, he's great at what he does, and if he just matures, then the universe will give him what he deserves, but he kept saying that he just needs to mature in some spaces. But then it's kind of like he gave him his flowers, but at the same time, he got a little like, I don't know, his demeanor and everything about his attitude talking about Armon gave a little, something was off about it. It was like a lot of venom. And then when he talked about like the roast, he talked about how he felt the roast was disrespectful and was, whatever. He just said it was foul, yada yada. And then he says, he got up in there, somebody put a battery in his back, and he got up there and said a whole bunch of stuff that he didn't know what the F he was talking about. He just, like, it was so aggressive, but it's just like, something for fact. And it's just like, the way he was speaking. So then, when, Armon does a review with the public with Funky's comments, because he's pissed now. Armon was trying to be on the Zen tip, but I saw that, I could say it brought him back. It brought him back. Fuck peace. We choosing violence today. And he doesn't. And so Armon is pissed off with the same things that I'm also irritated by. It's because you're saying that I'm immature and you're saying all these things, but you didn't tell me these things. You called me and congratulated me and told me things on how to maneuver in a situation. Actually, Funky said that he gave him a whole layout on how to move over there, and Armon did the complete opposite of what he said. What Funky meant was, Funky gave Armon, according to Armon, the ins and outs about Claudia Jordan. And basically said who to trust and who not to trust. And Claudia was the person to not to trust. That is what Funky actually meant, allegedly, by the ins and outs. Okay? So, I'm going to tie everything together. I'm going to get off Funky for a second. What happened? I think what happened, and I'm going to tell you what we know. It's been said, what we do know is that Claudia absolutely did not want Armon there. She didn't want him on the show because she didn't feel comfortable. She didn't feel like it's a safe space. I believe that because I can tell, because she doesn't feel like it's a safe space for her, for a woman, and she's already been down this road before with Funky. Boom. Al apparently didn't want him on the show either. And so, but that's interesting. He did at first. But then, there's a producer named Justin. Al was spreading a rumor that Armon got the job because he was messing around with the producer Justin, when Armon and Justin is just friends. And so I believe it was Justin who told Armon, like, hey, because Claudia tried to call Armon even before he got the job, I believe, or maybe during that time, to try, like, the energy is a little different. So I want to talk about it. But that's because Armon got hit from Al that Claudia didn't want him there. So he's coming into it already knowing not to trust her, and then the fact that she didn't want him there. So then I believe it was Justin who got them to talk. Then that's when Claudia told Armon, like, yes, at first I didn't want you on the show for whatever, yada, yada, yada. But then she said, Al is the one who's been trying to get you fired from the show, and provided receipts. But the interesting thing is, the day that Claudia's like, it's weird because me and Al don't talk anymore. I'll tell you why in a minute. We don't talk anymore. But the day that Al sent those messages to Claudia is the day after Al was hanging out with Armon, and they went live, and he was talking about how he loved Armon, and like, he was saying all these great things and all this other stuff, kissing ass. Okay, Al wanted Claudia out, and so he was playing both sides, but he really wanted Claudia out, and also wanted Armon out. And then, which is weird because it's like, one, Claudia is the one who got you this job. Everybody that's been on this show is a star and they shine. The only thing that's shiny about you, Al, fake ass Reynolds, hyphenated Jones, is your shiny ass lips that you use to kiss everybody ass that you think that's going to take you somewhere. But stabbing the person who actually got you a job and put $250,000 in your pocket in the back. Okay? He's being a manipulator. So when Armon realized that and was accused of getting the job for sleeping, now you spreading rumors, now that's creating a hostile environment. Okay? So, going back to Funky, Funky Dineva, Armon was irritated because he just like you called me to give me the tea. If you felt like I need to mature, you could have called me. Now here's where Armon felt like you talking about I'm immature, but you started going live at the same time as the show. And this is where I have a problem with Funky, and which I call him Funky Flip Flop Dineva. Because on 1 minute he says on Carlos King's show, hey, I wanted the show to succeed. Then he says, but I was being petty by going live at the same time and bringing all my fans over to the show at the same time as their show. Because I'll be watching the show and he'd be like, how that other show doing, y'all? Like that. But then you say you wanted the show to succeed past you. You wanted it to be successful. Maybe you could have took a season off, remember that part, and came back. But then you also say when the show got canceled, you felt vindicated. What does that mean? But you playing childish games. Doesn't sound like Armand's the only person that's immature. Does it? I need you to understand, I love Funky Dineva, and I'm going to still watch the show after that. But that don't mean I can't speak that was on my mind. Shit, I'm a pop culture commentator too. Self-proclaimed. So, now, when Armon does his whole review of Funky Dineva's comments, he's going off. Because he's talking about something, you talking about somebody put a battery in my back. Bitch, you put a battery in my back. You did that. Told me not to talk to Claudia. I'm going to get to where Armon went wrong. So I'll talk about it now. Armon kind of went wrong because he went in. I can understand why he was listening maybe to a Funky Dineva who he probably looked up to, because Funky Dineva is a legend on YouTube. And, you know, he went in, he listening to them, but also knowing that, but I get it too. Because this is, now you about to get on a show with somebody who don't want you there. So yeah, the energy is different. But then, when you do talk to her, now you found out that Al don't want you there. So because of that, Funky and Al got a problem with Armon because he did that. Funky said you did the opposite of what I told you to do. Oh, you mean by being friends with Claudia? And now he's learning the truth and what's really going on. So to me, it's crazy. Funky Dineva, you got your own show, but you still a part of TGIF, seems like. And then to get on your platform, and then he got on his own platform after the interview, and basically, because Armon got the crying, Armon was emotional, but he was angry, and I could tell, because I could see why he's in a state of confusion. Because yes, he could have played his hand a little differently and kind of like just watched both sides. But either way it go, it's kind of a good thing that it came out, because now it's exposing who's really wrong in this situation, the most wrong, which is so far Al, but to me it's Al and Funky. And Funky Dineva got on his platform and said, I'm not going to go in on him because I still like Armon, and, you know, like, he's still a fan of his, and basically, maybe when he calms down, they can have a conversation, but he was just trying to say, well, he gave him constructive criticism out of love. But the way he did that didn't sound like it was out of love. It really didn't. When you say he got on there, didn't know what the F he was talking about, and this and it's the way you went about it. My thing is this, Funky, you don't really know any information. You admitted that you got one side, which is Al, which is your friend. But if you don't know the whole situation, why would you get on a public platform and speak about it? To add salt to injury, when he was addressing Armon's reaction to his comments on Armon, he said, me and Carlos operate the urban pop culture space. So a lot of eyes, networks, and people, big people are watching. Yeah, Funky, you trying to say that big people are watching, which means it puts Armon in a bad light, but you sat up on that couch in front of the audience that you do have and basically said that Armon was the problem. And he said that on the show too. He also said Armon really was the person. He's not the only reason why the show was canceled, but he's a big part, and he's the one that lost the most out of everybody. So you're putting it out there that it's his fault without even having any other information. So then, if you do know, now that he knows he shouldn't have spoke because he didn't have all the information, yeah, you shouldn't have said anything at all then. If you was done with the show, you should have not said anything at all about anything ever. Ever. But your energy been a little different. So I can see why Armon looking at you sideways. Now, Armon, I'll be looking at Claudia a little sideways too, just a little bit, because she didn't want you on there, but I'm glad y'all talked it out, and that's cool. However, he's like, damn, but I don't trust none of y'all. So now Zoom calls done got leaked, where you see Al is the one that's berating this producer or head of programming named Joyce. He's berating her. He's going off and he's going in. Conscious TV got it all. So y'all go find him on YouTube. He got all the information. I saw it on House of Aaron first, but then I got everybody got their stuff on Conscious TV because he had all the tea. And it kind of vindicates Armon and Claudia or whatever. But the messed up thing to me, I feel like Claudia and Funky didn't get along. I'm actually curious. Okay, boom, wait, y'all, let me go back. So let me tell you why Claudia and Al fell out. Al used to be best friends with Nene. So Nene and Claudia don't get along. So Nene was talking or went in on Al about Claudia making comments about her on the show, which is they do pop culture commentating. So Nene is a part of pop culture. And Al was saying F Claudia. And somehow them screenshots got back to Claudia. And they fell out about that. Now, Funky Dineva thought that shit was cool between them two. But that goes to show Claudia, I know the energy with them was different, but not necessarily I didn't think there was beef. I just thought there'd just be tension because it's tension on the show how, she's always asking Al, please don't cut me off. Like, he's always trying to cut her off. It's always a thing, right? So maybe it was like a little tension, but I didn't know that they just wasn't friends anymore. And so with that being said, I believe that because who to say Al never went back to Funky? Because if Al and Claudia are friends, right? They started off as friends before the show. And maybe Claudia, this is me speculating. What if Claudia had her issues or frustrations with Funky and she confided into Al, and Al went back and told Funky, and now Funky, knowing that, he's doing little digs and saying little things and sounding third. But either way, that's just my speculation. I feel like that's probably what happened. Either way it go, them two don't like Claudia. So when Funky left, from what I heard on the curb, is that they both wanted Claudia out. And eventually Armon, so Funky could get back on the show. I think that's crazy how this woman put extra money in y'all pocket when y'all trying to take money out, trying to take the whole house from her. She gave y'all a room in the house and y'all trying to take the whole goddamn house from her. Al, ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Nobody wants to see you. And it's funny how Funky said on Carlos King's show, he claimed that he never seen Al act ass or see him in such a way, the things that's being said about Al, he's never experienced that. But according to Conscious TV, that the Zoom calls that was not leaked yet has Funky on them, where Al is doing the same thing, berating Joyce, and berating everybody this and the third. And then also it was said that I guess Al said that the show, Armon makes the show too gay. I need you to understand that Al is a bisexual man, right? And that Justin, who's the producer, basically, because the producer needs to be replaced with a different producer. In a sense, saying that because Justin's the producer, he makes the show gay. But to me, Justin is the one that brought Armon on. So as long as the producer, Justin, is involved, Armon will be right there. So it's for you to say that Armon makes the show gay, extra gay, when Funky was on there, he used to talk about this. What are you talking about? What does that mean, more gay, when you gay? I'm sorry, bisexual. What does that mean? Because Funky was on there, y'all used to talk about a whole bunch of nasty shit involving homosexuality. So I'm confused at what are you talking about? Because Armon is loud. He's not even flamboyant, if you ask me. You could tell that he's gay, but it's not even in a flamboyant way, if that's what you mean. No, you're just saying that because you get rid of Justin, you get rid of Armon. So that's that. And you already feel like maybe you got some type of higher. I don't know what Al got, because it's giving Al. Are you sleeping with somebody in the department of Foxhole? That's what it's giving me, because I don't understand why you got this much pull over this Joyce. Because Joyce seemed like she fearful. She couldn't even get a word in. And when there's another Zoom call that was released without Al, I guess he hung up and got mad, and Claudia's getting irritated with Joyce. Joyce didn't tell Justin that there were complaints about the show being too gay. So Justin got offended, like, Joyce, you never told me that. Joyce is playing everybody, but she's protecting Al, and everybody's irritated by it. To me, it's giving Joyce job is on the line, and he's complained about her before, and she's just trying to keep him happy. Why y'all trying to treat him like he's the Beyonce when he's Farrah Franklin, who never even made it onto an album cover? We don't give a damn about Al fake ass Reynolds hyphenated Jones. I'm sorry. Why he got his new YouTube show over there? See, Funky said on the show, this is what Funky did say, when he was asked, have you ever experienced that? He low-key kind of threw him under the bus a little bit and said, he was the most insecure out of everybody. He felt inferior to everybody. Or something like that. Because, I mean, I can see that. You do always have your notes, but your facts is almost all the time incorrect. You know, you ever been in school and you copy somebody's notes and it's wrong? Or you copy somebody's test and y'all both get F's because you copied the wrong person's notes? Or looking at the wrong person's stuff and they don't never get that shit right? That's pretty much what it is with Al. They have to backtrack so much stuff. And Armon also pokes fun at how he doesn't know how to pronounce words correctly, or he's always messing up his words and stuff like that. Al wants to be the smartest person in the room. See, his role on the show was supposed to be the person that provides all the information. He does all the research, and he gives off that he's like no more than what he do. And he's always flaunting the fact that he wears many hats, has many jobs. When he got his degree from ICDC College, that's what it's giving me. ICDC College. He's sitting on the couch anyhow. It's giving Everest. I don't know. Professor, they say you was a substitute. Anybody could be the substitute. They say you was delivering Uber Eats before Claudia gave you your job. $250,000 a year? And you're trying to get this woman fired for what? Nobody has ever said what Claudia did wrong to them. Claudia has a bad rep. They give her, she get a bad rep all the time. And from what the conversations and the text message that's been like released between everybody, or Armon and all of them, it seems like y'all met. They said she's always trying to protect black women. Wow, that's interesting. But I see how you often try to pander to certain black women, but only black women when they have a certain prestige. Because I remember a segment when they were talking about Serena Williams, and let's be very clear, Serena does not look like the same Serena that we know. So her skin is lightened. Something's being surgically done, and she does not look like the same beautiful Serena. I'm not saying she ain't beautiful now. I'm saying she don't look like the same beautiful Serena we know. Chocolate, beautiful features. She looks different, and then her makeup, her hair, things are not giving. I don't know what's going on with her stylist over there. No shade. This is no shade. Let's please not act like we're blind and we just can't see it. No shade. But Armon kind of went really in on her. And here go Al. I'm not gonna let you sit up there and disrespect this black woman and this that who's done this and who's done that. Oh, it was cool when Funky Dineva was going in on Hazel Lee, right? It was all fun and good games then. Oh, so because Hazel Lee's a reality star. I mean, I don't like Hazel E ass either. But when Armon was going in on her or somebody that likes of her, then it's F her, right? Or how about Armon said, I think in these text messages, Armon said anytime he would go in maybe on Claudia. I don't think Armon used to go in on Claudia, but they'll have like a little banter. This is before Al found out that they got cool, or before Claudia and Armon got cool. Al would text her like, yes, I'm glad, I'm happy about that. Like, he liked it when it seemed like their energy was off. Like, ugh. I thought it was funny too. The day before the roast, Lunel was on the show. Now, this is her second time it was her second time that month on the show. And I could tell Al love it when somebody's being shady. Al wishes he could be that shady. He wishes he could be clever. He wishes he had that. He doesn't. You're not that girl. You're not that girl. I love that he used to try to, it seemed like he was trying to edge sometimes Lunel on to say something funny and shady. Until the tables turned on him. And they were talking about something. And Lunel said, well, Al, did Star Jones know that you were gay when you married her? Baby, the way that man started sweating bullets and was just like, in his face, everything about his demeanor changed. So apparently Al got pissed about that. He said that there's a gag order and he can't be speaking on Star Jones' name, but Claudia said she ain't never known nothing about that. But anyway, when the tables turned on his ass, now I wondered, because Claudia and Lunel are friends, did Lunel already know that that Al was a little shady? And it also makes me wonder, have anybody wondered why T.S. Madison really turned down that gig? Because when Dr. Heavenly from Married to Medicine had guest spot on there, her and Al got into it, and he asked to never have her back. He demanded to never have her back on the show. And Carlos King was on there a couple of times, but then he realized that the energy was a little different or whatever after a while, and like nobody was talking to each other during, breaks and stuff like that. And it's like everybody can feel the tension. I wanted the T.S. Madison to already know what was going on. She probably did. She's friends with Claudia, I believe. Yeah, she's friends with Claudia. That's probably why she didn't do it. Like, hell no, I can't. You never know. So I say all this to say, this is what I'm irritated with Funky. Okay, let's go back to him. after he said that he wants to have a conversation, he released text messages that showed him and Armon going to work it out, and they're talking about it. But then when he came back on his show, this pissed me off even more. He said, cause I was so happy when he said that he wants to like have a conversation with him. I'm like, I would hope they get it together. I don't want to see them like be beefed out, you know? And he gonna say they talked, they compared notes. He sent them things, they talked or whatever, and he still stand where he stand, and that they're fine. And he said, all of y'all keep saying that I need to check out, whatever it is. If I need to check out about anything, I would do that in private, he said. And then he said, and everybody's like, well, why in private, this and the third? And he was just like, with my friends, I will never do that in public. But to a bitch I don't know, or a bitch I don't care about, and a bitch I don't like, I'll talk about it out loud, basically. That's what he said. And not basically, that's what he said. When he said it like that, it's given like, so you're saying that you don't like Armon? And that's a bitch you don't like? That's what you're saying? Because you disrespected Armon so loudly, but you're silent about Al. That's your friend? You seem to be so friendly with Armon, or like Armon, to the point where you called him to give him the ins and outs of the job and the whole layout and how to succeed. Or not to trust Claudia. Because you and Al plan was to get Claudia out her fucking seat. You don't win when you playing dirty. And that's the good Nene Leak said that. Lanithia Leak said that. You don't win when you playing dirty. It's very unfortunate. Again, I'm a fan of Funky Dineva. I'm still going to watch the show. There's things that I don't like that Claudia do. There's things, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that everybody say or do that I may not necessarily like. I don't like Al, though. Like, I didn't have a problem with him initially, but I've always known that something wasn't right with him. And after a while, I didn't like what he was trying to do. It seems like you want to be something that you're not. And then once Funky left, you thought that you'd be the one to occupy that space. Well, the one that seems like the star of the show is gone, so maybe it's my time to shine. But baby, if you got it, you got it. And if you don't, you don't. And baby, you do not have it. You just don't. Sorry. I mean, I'm sorry, but you just don't have it. You're not that girl. You're trying to be something that you're not. It's giving imposter. It's giving fake. It's giving desperate. It's giving shady as hell. And Funky, the reason why you don't want to talk shit about Al up in public is because all it is going to show how you was probably in cahoots with him too. That's what it's giving. Armon already said that you already told him not to trust him. And when Armon said that and Claudia called in, Claudia was hurt by that. So it's just unfortunate that y'all messed up a check. Because where Claudia went wrong, Claudia was wrong initially too, because you wanted Armon off the show. Instead of like having a conversation with Armon, or that even got out that you wanted him off. Claudia can admit when she wrong. Armon should have went in with a clean slate. Thank you for your information, but I'm going to go in with my own assumptions. I work at the plant. I deal with bitches that don't like me every single day. People that act like they my friends. People that be smiling up in my face. And I'll smile back because, baby, I'm an actress and I'm trained. And I'm here to get my check. I got too much to worry about outside of work than to be dealing with you jealous, hating assholes. I got too much. All you gotta do is keep my name in your mouth. My family keep my name in their mouth. Everybody keep my name in their mouth. Everybody want to talk about CC. It's always all about CC. Duh. It's CC. What are you talking about? Of course. I'm that girl. Period. Y'all will see if you don't know. Check my credits. There's a bitch at work right now talking about some, I was on Baddies audition and I got my ass beat. Mind you, I live in Detroit. First of all, the auditions was during the time where I was currently at work. Second of all, don't ever associate me with the Baddies. No shade to the people that's on it and no shade to the people that watch it. But don't ever disrespect me like that. Ever. And don't you think that would have been spread around the plant just like me being on Tubi is? Y'all better check my motherfucking credits. And I just wrote a movie called What About Your Friends? It's coming soon, 'cause period. But stop playing with me. But then I'm like, that irritated me. And instead of me going and finding a bitch that said it and checking her, that's stupid. Because what I'm going to do, get into it with her and I don't know her. So we may end up fighting and I lose my job, or I miss out on money for getting suspended for fighting a bitch that's talking about me. When everybody talks about everybody and I'm not always talked about, that's dumb. I'm not going to mess up my check. Y'all shouldn't have messed up y'all check. Y'all could have gave it to me. Okay? Shit, I should have been on the show. Let's Talk Podcast been out for 4 years. Y'all should have hired somebody like me. That's what y'all need. Y'all need me on TV. Because I'm TV Gold. What you talking about? But it's just unfortunate that they couldn't get it together. And at least Claudia was strong because Claudia worked with somebody who she know that was talking junk about her every single day. And she tried to stick it out as long as she could. But y'all was being so shady. And poor Armon, honestly, Armon don't really have the biggest part. Yeah, he did the roast, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. Armon was so gracious on that damn show. I watched him every single time that Al was shady and just being downright nasty to him. I watched him. I watched his facial expressions. He never sweat. I could tell when he just taking it in. He never talked shit on his own show or nothing. He got fed up and he said what he said. But it's a good thing that it happened because it exposed everything. But I'm pretty sure this is a learning lesson for Armon. Whatever he gonna learn out of this. Learning lessons for Claudia. Claudia wears her heart on her sleeves. I get it. I'm that girl too, Claudia. I get it. And then you thinking that people are your friends and you want to put people in position and you want to help and they shit on you. I understand. I guess we gotta have better discernment, right? Funky Dineva, I'm very disappointed in you. Sure, you got your YouTube show and you make money. That's fine. But the same way that you talk about other people's watching, how Armon and everybody react and stuff like that, never forget that you do have a history, a bad history. You dog Blue Ivy, the baby, Beyonce's child, and you dog Chloe Bailey. For whatever reason, you got dragged up and down here to hell about Chloe Bailey because you went in on her unnecessarily. And also, people is watching you, that you left a show and how you pretty much helped sabotage the show that you're no longer on. And then you try to tear down somebody else without having any information. So, I don't know. All of y'all was wrong, but the biggest people that was wrong was HR. Because y'all ain't do shit about this. All these complaints that's been happening, all the complaints should have been nipped in the bud back when Funky was on. Joyce, you need to be fired. I demand TGIF be reinstated with Claudia, with Armon, and somebody else. Bring Vivica back on because they used to have Cocktails with Queens. Hell, y'all could have brought Cocktails with Queens down. But I heard y'all losing money at Fox Soul anyway. And another reason why Funky didn't even left is because he said the show wasn't going no damn where. There was no direction for the show. Are we going to be in studio? Like, what are we doing? Are we going to continue to be on Zoom all the time? What's going on? So I don't really know. But it pissed me off and I'm upset because I really enjoyed that show. But it is what it is. Claudia will be fine. Al is quiet as a mouse. You ain't got nothing to say, huh? He probably trying to figure out some type of way how to sue somebody. Hell, if I was Armon, I'd be suing y'all asses for emotional distress. Okay? Y'all causing harm to that man's mental health. And spreading lies on him saying that he's sleeping with people. And Justin, the producer, I'll be filing a complaint up against Al for even suggesting that I'm sleeping with my employee. And that I sleeping with them and I'm giving them jobs. That's nasty work. That reminds me at the plant right now. Managers sleeping with the people that's underneath. Getting caught on video and whatnot. Still able to keep his job from what I heard. Nasty work. You don't win when you're playing dirty. You don't win when you're playing dirty. All y'all nasty and all y'all hoes. I ain't got time. Y'all could have slapped that check to me. But do me a favor, you guys. That was my rant because I'm tired and I got to go to sleep because I got to get my ass back to work at 6 p.m. Got to get up by really 2 o'clock. Look at my I almost quit acting video. I'm trying to work on my routine. I'm trying to get up and, shower and meditate and get my mind right instead of getting up right before I got to go and showering and stuff like that. No, I need to get my mind centered. But I'm also a content creator now. Well, I've been a content creator, but I'm doing my YouTube thing. So I'm going to have to chop this up. I'm going to have to send this links to this, that, and third. I got a lot of work to do in addition to going to the plant. So, guys, please like and subscribe. Help me get out the plant, okay? Please help me get out the plant. Everybody and their mama and ancestors is on YouTube. So there's room for everybody. So please make room for me. It's your girl, CC, and I'm out.